Cold War. The Cold War was a political, economical, social, military, informative, scientific, and sports confrontations initiated at the end of the Second World War between 1945 and 1947. The reasons were political and ideological, and we are going to talk about them in a minute. Two powers were the protagonists of this war, United States and the Soviet Union. They formed two blocks with their own thinking. United States take the capitalism and Soviet Union take the communism. Why was it called Cold War? Because no one of the blocks had direct action against each other. The reasons were essentially ideological, political, economic, and propagandist. The Soviet Union supported revolutions and socialist governments. Instead, the United States propagated destabilization and heat of state. The capitalism, it is an economic and social system based on the fact that the means of production must be privately owned. The market serves as a mechanism to allocate scarce resources efficiently and capital serves as a source. And the communism was a political movement that promotes the formation of a society without social classes, where the means of production are common property. This implies that private ownership of such means will not exist, which will take power to the working class. After Second World War, we have to know that in 1945 Roosevelt and Stalin have a reunion in Yalta, Churchill, where the victors divided the German territory in four. Oriental, controlled by Urs, and Occidental, controlled by France, the United States, and Britain. The United States, France, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union divided this German because of good ways. We have also been divided as the Berlin Wall was created. The Marshall Plan and Comecon. The Marshall Plan was announced in 1947 by the USA Secretary and approved in 1948. Participate 16 for the economization reactivations to avoid that communism emerged easily, and Comecon was the Soviet answer to Marshall Plan that consists in coordinate Europe economies to establish a mutual help with the URSS. Korea and Vietnam War. The Korea War starts because Japan abused the population, so Korea War was the first armed conflict of Cold War. There was the creation of the ONU in 1945. The causes of Korea War was the war between USA and Soviet Union and rivalry of communism regime led by Kim Il-sung supported by Soviet Union and the capitalist government of South Korea led by Syngman Rhee and supported by the USA. And the consequences were peninsula divided into South Korea and North Korea and the creation of an idea of use nuclear guns. And Vietnam War was an ideological difference between communism and capitalism, and the consequences of it was the use of orange agent like a chemic that led bad sequels for public health. Korea War ended the 27th July 1953 and the Vietnam War ended the 30th April 1975. The first part of the war was the arms race, where there was a weapons contest between the United States and the Soviet Union, with the main objective of demonstrating who had more firepower. OTAN was created, and the objective was to stop the expansion of the communist ideology. And we also have to know that there was created the Varsovia Pact, that was a treaty where the satellite countries of Europe signed a protection, help, and mutual assistance treaty to contrast OTAN. The main milestone that symbolized the Cold War was the fall of the Berlin Wall, which for almost 30 years divided German capital on the socialist and capitalism side. The Berlin Wall was demolished by the German citizens themselves on November 9, 1989. End of the Cold War. was ended on November 1989, ended by the collapse of one of its contenders. For so much people, the Malt Summit between the North American President George Bush and Gorbachev marked the end of the Cold War. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine, thank you. And you?
Oh, fine. I'm going to make you an interview about Cold War. It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. What countries were the world leaders during this period?
I think United States and Russia, no? Oh, no, sorry. Soviet Union.
Yes. And why did countries who were allies during the wars become enemies afterwards?
Because of the different thinking ways, in this case, United States capitalism and Soviet Union communism.
And where did the Cold War take place?
I think nowhere. Because Cold War was only a war without guns. So there was no gun war. There were war only in Korea, Vietnam, etc.
And what opinions did the general public have of the Cold War?
That was a tragic conflict because they make that person suffer. They have to fight to survive.
Oh. What type of weapons did the Second World powers have at their disposal?
They don't use weapons.